All right. So let's do a quick little recap of what happened for AEW Dynamite Grand Slam Mexico. So this was the card. We had our guys pretty much 6 matches, and they were all pretty good, fluid, went across. They incorporated as much as they could collaborative-wise. They had a lot of CMLL people and a good mix of AEW people mixing it in. And it was a pretty good collaboration, you know what I mean? And it was, it put a smile on a lot of people's faces to see this happen, which was really good. And I'm not going to lie, the energy was amazing. Like, you felt it. You felt it in your veins. But I want to say this real quick. You know what I mean? Let's get into something real fast. For the people that were complaining, why did they do Grand Slam Mexico going into All In? This show made no sense. They should have just kept it in the US and then just keep doing stuff they literally intertwined every single story. Well, not every, but most of the stories, and they were playing video packages. Both world titles and the people who won the Owen Hart tournament both had segments that wasn't just wrestling. We literally capped off the show with Hangman. Yeah! And talking about Jon Moxley and the world title, which might be the main event, we don't know, of All In. So it's clear when people say stuff like this, you aren't really watching or keeping up with the product like that, because literally the video package in the beginning had every single story and everything that was going on from literally like an anime show. They recapped everything in the video package, and it wasn't even like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was literally just what happened in the segments. That was the intro of the show. And then right after that, we capped off with Hangman. And Hangman cut a whole promo in Spanish, which is amazing. So for those of you that are complaining about that,
Crushing and then crushing real glass, crushing the abdomen. Go cry me a river.
Go cry me a damn river. Yeah. All right, let's get back into recapping what happened. So first match that we had, we started off with Hangman, obviously, like I said before, and he cut a whole promo in Spanish.
Podemos cambiar el mundo.
So he cut a whole promo in Spanish, and Excalibur translated it. And pretty much what he was saying was he grew up on a tobacco farm. If you know Mexico, New Mexico, Albuquerque, Texas, all these places, Arizona, they're all cowboy country. It doesn't matter if you're Mexican, Indian, or American. It's all cowboy country. So he kind of just went into his background and how he learned Spanish and all this. And apparently there was some reports coming out that CMML loved how much he spoke Spanish, and it was good Spanish. He wasn't just saying random stuff, that they want to book him for more dates badly. So I don't know, that's a pretty good dub for my guy. But next up, and he said, he can't wrestle Jon Moxley, but they didn't say anything about after the match he can't get involved. So we had our first match, which was that 14-man, and as you can hear, Atlantis Jr. was getting booed pretty bad, but it was pretty good. Our guy Adam Cole came out. He had an amazing pop. Everyone had a decent pop, but Adam Cole came out, and the crowd went absolutely bananas, and it gave me goosebumps. But they need to get a pay-per-view. But Adam Cole came out, and then literally Atlantis Jr. This is something that I've noticed even with Vikingo, and Mexican crowds boo the hell. I don't understand what the heat is, but they boo the hell out of Vikingo. And then when he has a U.S. crowd, when he was in AEW, they're cheering him. I know he's doing the AAA sports entertainment, whatever now, but Atlantis Jr. and Senior and Vikingo, it's the same thing with both of them. The Mexican crowds booed the hell out of them, and they have heat, and then the American crowds cheer them. So I don't know. It's a little bit of a, who knows. But next up after that, we had my man Okada versus Mark Briscoe. And he won the match, and they played a video package before and after of what's going before the match. I think they played a video package of what's to come with him and Omega going into All In. And after that, we went straight into Mystico. And people, let me tell you about Mystico's entrance. I watched this. I did a watch along, and when this happened, I literally had goosebumps on my arm, and I'm not even kidding. I'm not talking about the bald fraud version. I'm talking about real goosebumps.
You bald fraud!
Not the bald fraud one. The real version.
To do your bullshit! To hit your arm! To pretend!
I'm not pretending, but it was crazy. Let me show you guys a quick little snippet of it. You hear them singing? He came out with the Sin Cara mask. Bruh, my hair just stood up again seeing that. That's insane, man. That was insane. I really love that. That was insane. Some stuff in pro wrestling just feels right and it feels good. And that was one of those moments. It's good to see Sin Cara and to see how he's into Mystico and see what he's done the last few. I've only caught a couple of his indie stuff and a little bit of his CMLL stuff and his in and out of AEW just kind of appearing every now and then. But it was actually pretty amazing. And now let's get into a live, somebody who recorded it from there. It was loud, man. People were marking out, man. So you can imagine these international crowds, man, they're on another level with it. And then we got towards after the match, you know, MJF doing MJF stuff, being a heel. He unmasked the guy. And I couldn't believe they actually did this in Mexico. I couldn't believe that they actually did that in Mexico. And there was reports that are coming out that after the show, someone followed. So I guess MJF was staying at the airport that's connected, the hotel that's connected to the airport. A fan followed MJF there and was trying to attack him or something like that. And I'm going to just say, we're back. We are officially back. People getting real heat. We've never been more back, man. We've never been more back. So let's get into further on what happened in the show afterwards. We had that $4 million peso match between right here. We had Mascara Dorada, Ricochet, Hologram, and Lio Rush. And they had themselves a $4 million peso match. Whoever won, I think that's like $200K in US dollars. And Hologram won. It's a pretty good match. It looks like they might be doing something with Hologram and Ricochet because they kind of had a little bit of a tit for tat in there. But let's move on. And it was time for Mercedes Moné. You already know what time it is when it's Mercedes Moné, man. You know, you got to hit the Hogan, you know. You know, I gotta hit my Hogan poses. But Mercedes, I'm just kidding. But it was Mercedes Hogan time, and she actually won the match, which is crazy. Look at this counter.
Yeah, she's got style, but Mercedes is very vicious as well.
What is this?
Wait, Zuxis changes her grip. And now, Mercedes.
And she won right after that move. She won 1, 2, 3, won the belt, and this happened. She is now the CMLL champion, and literally, that belt looked like it was beautiful. It's a beautiful belt. It looked like a belt that probably belonged like NWA like 50 years ago. It's a decent looking belt. It's a very throwbacky belt. But let me say this on the you know, the whole Mercedes Hogan belt collector thing.
Because Skip, listen, Skip, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Let's talk about this, right? So a lot of people are complaining about her being a belt collector and her holding divisions hostage. Now, I understand this. You do have a fair point. But I will say, a lot of people, like when Kenny Omega about 4 or 5 years ago, when he was about 5, 6 almost, it's been some times flying, but when he was doing the belt collector thing, there wasn't too much complaining about that. Or when Roman Reigns was holding both world championships and both brands kind of were at a standstill and they had a problem. Now, I do understand that part where her being the figurehead of each division is kind of an issue because that's the top prize for each division, and she's not going to be there on a weekly basis. She is doing pretty good traveling every now and then to defend these titles, which on all these continents, which is amazing. But people complain when people are on the rise. So when Cody won back-to-back Royal Rumbles, or when Will Ospreay was just winning and winning and winning and winning, or when Roman Reigns was just winning during the Tribal Chief stuff, or when Kenny Omega was doing the belt collector. You heard just a little bit, it wasn't too much. When belt collecting happens, it splits the fandom in half. The people who appreciate it and the people who don't. And if you want people to have these reigns and these like when people are being dominant, like right now, a lot of people are complaining about the Death Rider thing. I'm enjoying the Death Rider thing because I know when the Death Riders is over with, we're gonna miss it. When they're terrorizing, you don't know what they're gonna do this week, and they're pretty much like just being this group of misfits that are just going crazy every week. You gotta admire it when it's happening, because a lot of people now you say you missed the bloodline.
Damn!
Yeah! Now you guys missed the bloodline? Really? And the same people will be tweeting, oh, it's the same bloodline stuff every week. Or they'll be tweeting, the Death Riders and the Young Bucks, the Elites, they're doing the same thing every week. And then as soon as the reign is over, they're like, man, this was the most underrated heels in the business. And I'm like, bro,
man.
Are you serious?
Man, you stupid dumb, man.
I don't want to hear it. So while this is happening, and these companies are willingly giving her the top prize of their division. So obviously she's the best out right now, or she's one of the hottest out. So they're trusting her to represent it. So that's why I understand, you know, because I will say this though. I want her to drop the TBS title. You know, we can check off the list of her having the women's world title and the TBS title. Check that off the statistic box list and making history, whatever. I'm cool with that for a few weeks, maybe even months. But she has to drop that title, and we need other people doing other stuff with it. We need Megan Bayne, we need Willow, we need Chris Statlander. I'm not gonna lie, Willow has to get up to the world title picture, but you get what I mean though. We need other people occupying that space and that title and giving them opportunities and letting them get some shine. But I will say, her being the belt collector, I'm fine with it, as long as, even if they build her up to collect and then she starts losing everything and goes into insanity on this character arc, I would be fine with that, you know. But that's just kind of what I see on both sides of the argument of the belt collector and being over pushed thing. So, you know, I know we went on a little tangent, but it kind of had to be said. All right, let's move on to what happened right after.
Dinner, a kiss.
She got attacked by Toni Storm. And Toni Storm pulled up looking like, where's Carmen Sandiego?
The AEW Women's World Champion, timeless Toni Storm.
Bro, she just took the Mario coins out of her. But that's what happened. And then lastly, we had our, I think, what was it, a 10-man? Yep, 10-man tag right here. The Ops, Will Ospreay, Swerve versus Death Riders and the Young Bucks. And it ended with a surprise roll-up. Moxley surprise roll-up on Swerve. And after, they still were brawling. And this is the visual we had afterwards.
Employing that choke from behind. And they're keeping everybody else out of the ring. Look at this. Oh! Well, Hangman, he said he was not allowed in the building to watch the main event, but he said there was nothing.
This visual right here, oh my gosh. You have Swerve sitting down there in the corner. You have Hangman facing, and look at Moxley on his knees facing this, man. Look at this. This is amazing. Moxley on his knees facing our last hope, which is Hangman. And Hangman with, look at all the, like, the whole stage and everything. I don't know. That was just amazing to me. But he came out,
Keeping him out of
accidentally hit a bug shot.
Hangman, wait a second. Hangman answers. Buckshot!
Accidentally hit a buckshot on the Bucks, and they kind of had a little stare off there, like, what are you doing? So I'm not sure what they're doing in terms of the Bucks and Hangman kind of like officially having that split, you know, babyface heel style. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And we ended the show how we ended All Out last year. We ended the show the way I love the show ending. Hangman screaming.
Tonight. Thanks for joining us, and good night, everybody, from Chicago.
All right, so Overall, it was a good show. For those that were complaining, why did they do this? It should have been focusing on All In. Literally, they started the show and ended the show with All In. They put packages in because Omega is still out, kayfabe injury right now, selling the story. He's out right now, so they put a video package in. They have the world title thing going on with the women and the men, so they had both of those going on for All In. And I'm not too sure yet what Will Ospreay and Swerve are going to be doing. And as well as Athena, bro. We need to figure out what's going on with Athena, bro. They need to give her a match because she's a Texas girl as well. And they used her to promo All In Texas, so they got to do some justice by her. But yeah, so for those that were saying, and this was a collaborative thing. You don't think some of these people are going to go up? Literally, Mexico and Texas are like right near each other. You don't think some of these people are going to go? And this was a collaborative thing. This was PR. This was everything all together. And it didn't take too much off of what they had going into All In. So I think it was a nice balance. And yeah, they had to incorporate some CMLL talent, you know? It's not like they were going to do Grand Slam Mexico partnership with CMLL and only have their people on, force their people to speak English and like, you know what I mean? So it was a collaborative effort. Yeah! So for once again, all of you that are crying.
Launching and then crushing.
Real glass.
Crushing the
Go
abdomen.
cry me a river.
Thank you. And that's it. That's all we have for today. Hopefully I'll catch you guys next week for next week's Dynamite. And I will be going to All In Texas. And if you guys want me to vlog that, let me know in the comments if you want me to vlog that. And I will vlog the experience. Because I'm going to be going crazy when Hangman finally wins the belt.
Damn!
Appreciate you guys.